Marked, if you like, the way he's attacked this championship?
I think his patience and particularly his focus, and also his desire to win. You know, I mean, we've seen it earlier in this championship. He was playing for Snookers against Peter Ebdon when the games were getting dragged out, but he was still willing to carry that fight. And we haven't seen that from O'Sullivan for quite some time. So obviously working with Dr. Peters, as I said, having a few friends here as well, has certainly focused them and calmed them down, and he's willing to fight for everything.
Yeah, every year we come to the Crucible. It's always the big talking point about Ronnie O'Sullivan. 17 days is a long time. We've seen in the past for the first week where he's been terrific, playing fabulous snooker, and then all of a sudden could lose it in the second week and lose that patience and focus that he now has. He's a different player this year. I'll have a look at this split. I mean, the balls have broken beautifully there.
Yeah, that shot to split the pack just hits the ball so well. There's no effort at all. It's just pure timing. You'll see a lot of players hit that really hard to try and get the action on the white. Well, he doesn't have to do that.
I mean, these tables are playing beautifully. They're super fine cloths.
You'll see most shots. When he brings the cue back the last time, he brings the tip almost to his thumb in his bridge hand. So he has maximum action from the cue. Cue does all the work.
$17. $23. $24. $31. $32.
Well, what a chance here. Just have a look at those reds. Mid-session interval coming up after this frame, and it's been a very, very entertaining opening second session here. No really big breaks. 1, 2, 3, 4 breaks over 60. 2 from either player. But it's been a fascinating start to this second session.
Thanks.
40.
Well, I'm not sure what happened there with something underneath the table. There was a noise. And there it is. They just fell off its stand there. It's really slightly awkward here, so
47.
taking the red to the middle. This isn't the one he played for, but that'll do. Once again, Ronnie putting
48.
the cue ball where he's got options and different choices.
$53.
I actually tried in practice,
54.
Dennis, to play the Ronnie was playing, bring the tip back all the way to my thumb and my bridge hand, and in practice it was absolutely beautiful. You strike the ball so well, but in a match I just didn't have the confidence to do it.
Well, that's the key, isn't it, Stephen? It's all about confidence, and if you do change your
61.
technique slightly, it's like a golf swing. If you change it on the practice
62.
range, it's terrific, but when you get under a bit of pressure, it doesn't work. So the best way to play the game is the natural way, the way you learn to play, the way you were brought up to play. It's a bit like tying your shoelaces. You know, for the first time it's difficult, and then you do it automatically. And some of these naturally gifted players, sometimes
69.
they're better just playing the way they've always played, rather than getting bogged down with too much technicality. You're looking at,
7.
as he gets a terrific round of applause, you're looking at the most naturally gifted player the game's ever had.
72.
Yeah, that's without question.
73.
I'm not sure how far that tip comes back here. Almost comes off his hand.
79. 80.
We've had 62 centuries this year at the Crucible.
86. 87.
Ronnie's had 6 of those centuries. Jamie Jones had 7. Quite incredible. First time at the Crucible, and he makes 7 centuries.
95.
And this for the... You have to say it. It's always magical when you make a century. 677 centuries Ronnie O'Sullivan has made in his career.
101.
And another £200 for the Haven House Children's Hospice.
I think he's got a great
108.
chance to be the first player to make 1,000 centuries, Dennis, if he plays long enough.
110.
Well, he's closing in on your record, which is something like 760. I'm not quite sure. 775, Stephen's just informed me. Oh, there's a trick shot to finish off. That doesn't matter. What a response from the Rocket. He was put under pressure, and that's how he responded with that magnificent break of 110, and he goes to the mid-session interval, leading 7 frames to 5.
And having been all square in a blink of an eye, he's got a 2-frame advantage once again. And really the foundation of that particular frame win was that opening shot and the power that he had to open up the pack, Steve.
Yes, he generates lots of action on the cue ball, and after Matthew Stevens had failed to hit the correct ball in the safety shot, he left Ronnie with what looked like just a sort of reasonable chance, but one shot later, it looked like a 147 chance.
Yes.
Stephen Hendry sitting in the commentary box going, "Oh no!"
we thought it might be highly appropriate if he'd been in the commentary box. He was certainly going to put one in there, but not to be when he took the pink, obviously. And how will Matthew reflect on the last couple of frames?
I don't think he'd be too upset. I mean, there's nothing he could do in that frame. Maybe the chance in the previous frame he could have maybe stole it, but I think he'd be very happy that, you know, he's still well in touch with this in this match, and there's only a couple of frames in it. And I think he'd be pretty pleased the way he's playing, because the way he's held himself, the way he's come back, and everything Ronnie has thrown at him, he's taken it and he's fought back hard. And it's a fascinating match, and both players at the top of the game. It's great to watch.
Yeah, we've waited a long number of years. They've never played one another at the Crucible, and this really is living up to expectations today.
It is, and obviously there's from the situation that Matthew Stevens found himself in, 4-0 behind. If somebody had then asked him, would he settle for 7-5 behind, he'd have bitten their hand off. Yes,
definitely. Okay.